Alright, depending on the length of this quest, it might be my last one for the night. It's Nowhere to Run, given to us by Zero. We are at her home base, their home base, Zero's domain, level 90. Here we go. Consider yourselves duly warned. If you wish to go among the void sent here, that is your choice to make. All have fled from one master or another, but whether any of those masters in turn served Golbez, I do not know. You must ask them yourselves. Most have traveled to your world, so it shouldn't be difficult to communicate. We shall go about making inquiries at once. Thank you for your counsel. Once we've learned all we can, let us reconvene at yonder plaza. You're going too, of course, in which case I shall accompany you. I wish only to observe. Do not expect me to help. Alright. Then it's settled. I'm ready whenever you are. Talk to her. She'll become a companion. Ready? Then lead the way. I leave it to you to decide with whom you speak. I'm making her more energetic than she is. I'm sorry. It's just easier to speak like that. Ready? Then whatever, you know. I could be very unenergetic, and I might try. We'll see. I could have mounted probably, yeah. No. This, oh yeah, it's enabled, but I don't know why it was, okay. Empty-eyed void sent kind of spider lady, spider person. To walk around with her like that, you're her minion then. You know I don't take minions. She has some questions and I want you to answer them. I ask my questions. Golbez, I don't know that one, only Skathax. When she led us beyond the veil, I grew scared and fled. I've been here since. I don't know anyone else, nor do I wish to. That's all I can tell you. Scarthach was a powerful void sent who ruled over a vast domain. That was a long time ago, though, so I doubt she has any connection to Golbez. Mount up. We have an ooze void sent, a black, oily ooze void sent. Rumble, stay away from me. If you don't want to be eaten, stay away. I explain why I'm here. Golbez. I've heard the name before. Ah, I remember. Always speaking of a great crusade. I don't know what that is, but it sounds delicious. Sorry for that sound. There's a slurp sound as best I could. A crusade, you say? From whom did you hear this? Farfarello. He was a minion of another minion. Went on and on about the terrible things he saw. I see. Perhaps Farfarello can tell us more. And third, amiable void sent, little imp dude. This area, this courtyard, has some about, let's see, is it 8, 6, 7? Some broken pillars around a circle, in a circle, and there's a statue in the middle of a sword and shield. A stone statue, sword and shield. In a defense stance, shield upraised. We have a talk circle. Let's take advantage of that. I didn't see it. Didn't look. Ask about the plaza. This is the heart of my domain. Normally it's deserted, but you and yours have drawn everyone out. I don't recall this statue, though. However it came to be here, I certainly didn't wish for it. Oh, cool. Thank you for all that information. We're gonna go get this talk circle just in case it disappears before, like when it's inside of a building. Interesting to be writing Argos here, but or maybe not that interesting, I don't know. Ask about Zero's abode. I call this my abode, but spend hardly any time here. I return only for meditation. While physical wounds can be healed by replenishing one's ether, you can't preserve your form if you lose sight of yourself. Such is the risk inherent in consuming another's soul. It dilutes your sense of self, alters you inside and out. To guard against this, I meditate, visualize who I am in a place all my own. Aw, that's kinda cute. But yeah, there are pools, or, well, some look like pools, but this is like a mound-ish. A really not tall at all mound, kind of wider than it is tall, but a mound nonetheless of like this black rock with blue crystal in it. There's a few patches of those in the ruins of this castle courtyard or stone courtyard or whatever. We'll talk to the amiable voice sent imp now. You're one of the mortals. Is it true? When you die over there, you really die? I nod. So it is. So it is. What brings you here then? I explain. Ah yes, Golbez. He seeks strong minions to grow his army, so I hear. But recently he stopped doing that. Instead, he devours all. Perhaps he's gathered enough fodder and is now intent on bolstering his own strength, a sure sign that he's about to make a move. Satisfied with what you've learned? Ah, but let's step away before you become too tempting to resist. Oh, that's nice of you to say. I get that sometimes. Not really, but it's cool. Okay, we have our progression circle here. It seems the rumors of Golbez reach even my remote domain. Gosh, dang. Fair to assume he's gathering strength for his crusade, whatever that may be. But I must say, I wouldn't have guessed that Farfarello once fought in Golbez's army. It's a miracle he survived serving an archfiend. I should cock my head at that. Ah, I suppose I should explain. Farfarello is the weakest among us. Constantly in fear of being devoured, he seldom consorts with others. The only one he's comfortable with is Ciriatto. He's a fellow coward who runs the instant he senses a threat and won't stop until he's exhausted. When their hunger grows too intense, they feed on each other's ether. Such is their relationship. But I ramble. You intend to seek out Farfarello, I presume? I nod. Then I'll come with you. He's less likely to hide that way. Cutscene. Meanwhile, elsewhere, we have 3 of those portals of different elements.
Not only did the mortals conquer Troy, they defeated Scarmiglione.
Scarmiglione, my bad. I've been pronouncing the G the whole time. Even though I just thought that Varshan was pronouncing it funny because of the accent or like, you know, whatever, but Scarmiglione. This is the Throne of Fire speaking.
I struggle to believe it.
Struggle to believe it.
They're very small, my lords. They were aided by one of our world, who transformed Scarmiglione's soul into crystal.
There is more. So this is a spy's voice coming from this hovering symbol made of magic and metal. I don't know. But there's more, my lords. They were aided by one of our world who transformed Scarmiglione's soul into crystal.
Crystal? This one speaks of Memoria.
It's the fire.
Now there's something I've not heard for an age. It'll bring a pang of nostalgia to my breast and a tear to my eye.
This is water. Now there's a word I've not heard for an age. It'd bring a pang of nostalgia to my breast and a tear to my eye.
If the very notion wasn't absurd! The gifted are gone, drowned in darkness. As were we all.
If the very notion wasn't absurd, the gifted are gone, drowned in darkness, as were we all.
And yet Scarmiglione still does not answer.
I think he was probably Earth then, because there's fire and water. I haven't seen wind.
Were he alive, he would have returned by now.
This is the heavily armored, thick boy, Golbez.
Weakest though he was, his ability to regenerate was without peer. If this account is true, if a Memoriat has survived, they cannot be suffered to live.
Is this guy a Cyclops? Or are we only getting that one light from...
Leave this matter to me, Lord Golbez.
Says the Throne of Wind.
I, Barbaricia, shall strike down any who pose a threat to our plans.
The only thing you couldn't understand there was her name is Barbaricia.
'Tis true, you are a proven commander, well suited to leading an assault.
And when I have succeeded, I would beg a boon of you.
I would beg a boon of you when I've succeeded.
What do you desire?
The dragon's ether. what remains.
Wow. Big request.
The insolence. Know your place.
The insolence. Know your place from the throne of fire.
With respect, my locks are free as the wind, without incentive to sway them. I know not whither they will blow.
With respect, my locks are free as the wind. Without incentive to sway them, I know not whither they will blow.
Boldly spoken. I trust you will not disappoint me.
Upon this flowing hair and my immortal soul, I will not fail.
Then go and impress upon these interlopers the futility of defiance.
My lord,
She sinks down, which is, I guess, the way that the communication ability portal thingy is stopped. We'll speak with Zero to continue. Farfarello keeps to the fringes of my domain. This way. We'll get this dialogue circle first, along the way. Ask about Farfarello's hiding place. The Void sent here don't answer to a master. They do as they please. They can do as they please, sorry. But all must answer to the hunger and seek out prey when they need ether. Except Farfarello and Ciriatto, that is, they are content to take from one another. Barring an incident, they dare not venture out. When he takes flight, Ciriatto will not seek shelter until he is utterly spent. Farfarello, on the other hand, prefers to hide in the same place. Come. Keep heading east, past Farshawn, who's talking to a Hecdize. We find Ciriatto. So, I think we've encountered a being like this before, but picture the body of an upright viper who had, like a cobra, actually, who has that extra skin around the neck, like flared out to look, bigger and menacing. That's kind of the shape of this being, but it's all black, shadowy robe, and on the front side of this poised up viper cobra kind of body there's some masked faces where you see like white masks, like lower right side, middle of the belly, upper right side, higher upper left side, where the face might actually be, on the right side of the head, on the back right side of the head, and the back upper left side of the head. So like all of these masked faces, white masks, the eyes and mouth both open, glowing like a green-blue, clawed hands coming out of the robe. This dude is shaking. That's the best I can describe it. You're Ciriatto. Oh, whatever will I do now? Whimper, whimper. Ciriatto, this is rather unexpected. Where's Farfarello? Go. Farfarello isn't here anymore. He's left. Yes, that's right. Left? That doesn't sound like him at all. Well, he's gone, all right. What more do you want me to say? And Ciriatto goes running off. And off he flees, as he is wont to do. But something about this doesn't sit well with me. What do you make of Ciriatto's behavior? I've never met the dude. He looks scared. My options are he seemed frightened, perhaps someone had threatened him, or I don't think he was telling the truth. He seemed frightened, perhaps someone had threatened him? I doubt it. Had he been threatened, we wouldn't have found him in one place. No, he would run in circles until he could run no more. That's his nature. As he says, Farfarello is gone, but that is quite unusual. As is the fact that Ciriatto, who was clearly frightened by something, chose not to flee, but instead hid here, where Farfarello usually... No. We must go after Ciriatto now. Okay. We head south. And then west along some path, like some stone-walled pathways. Found Ciriatto. Ciriatto, we need to talk. There's no time. The wind rises. We must flee. And he flees. The wind rises? What is he talking about? After him. Go through... Oh, wait. Can I do that? Can I go this way? I can. Not. That's a wall. Okay. Oops. So, okay. Okay, you're gonna go up some stairs here. Kind of going around and about. Up some more stairs and more stairs. We're kind of on a second level now. At a landing right now. What's gotten into you? What do you mean the wind rises? When the wind rises, she comes. Barbariccia. Barbariccia? Who in the world is that? We must flee, all of us. There's no time. I don't know what its voice is supposed to be like, but I don't sense anything, but he seems convinced. It's a dead end beyond. We'll corner him. Okay, go up some more stairs, heading north now east. And it's kind of like a third story walkway ending in a circle, you know, with like a 2-story jump off, kind of dead end cutscene. I should be able to do one more video tonight, I think. I want to. We're doomed. There's nowhere to run. What are you running from? He turns to us. It turns to us. I already told you. Barbariccia, the archfiend of wind. Archfiend, you say? We will be devoured or forced to serve, to fight in the crusade, but it makes no difference. In the end, all are eaten by her or her enemies. I didn't want to fight anymore. That's why I fled and came here. I see. That explains everything, almost. I thought it was Farfarello who used to serve an archfiend, not you. Not you who always ran at the first sign of trouble. You who now speak as though you were Barbariccia's minion. There's only one explanation. He devoured Farfarello, didn't he? He devoured Farfarello, didn't he? Indeed, that would account for his uncharacteristic behavior. So, is that the way of it? Did you devour Farfarello? And not just a portion of his ether, but his entire being? How did you know? It wasn't only your behavior that felt strange. You felt strange, as if there was more than you present. Now, I don't believe you would have lost control. More likely, it was all at Farfarello's behest. I can't hide anything from you. I admit it, Farfarello didn't leave. I ate him. Turns back to look over the railing. He feared Barbariccia more than anything, hated the endless fighting. So he begged me to devour him, that he would never have to fight again. Rather than an eternity of fighting, he chose a moment of pain. For all the good it did, I can still hear his voice in my head. He's frightened, so very frightened. It's trembling again in fear. Clawed hands, like kind of up toward its face, or its main face. When you're eaten, your essence is blended with that of your devourer, and though you have no control, your consciousness in part endures. Were this a world where the wheel of life and death still turned, the soul wouldn't linger so stubbornly. In time, it would return to the great flow. But there's no such end here, no escape. All know this. In making his choice, Farfarello must have been desperate indeed. This agony, pain on this Ciriatto. And now that desperation has joined with Ciriatto's fear, driving him to act erratically. This place will become a battlefield. We don't want to be eaten, neither me nor Farfarello, but there's nowhere to go. Nowhere. Then tell me about Barbaricia. I would know who it is we face. It's too late. She's as good as here, and no one can escape her winds. No one. Cutscene goes black. We're back on the scene. I think there's going to be some voice acting.
Maurizio! She has come!
My voice wasn't terribly far off, but it was kind of. Oh. We see a floating island, jagged, rocky, has a bird's nest.
And she's brought her domain with her.
Yeah. Like a tall pole made of whatever, and then like a bird's nest looking thing on top of it.
The Archfiend's after you and yours, I shouldn't doubt.
Or you. From what
Perhaps you should go and find them.
Shouldn't know.
But be warned, whatever this is about, do not expect us to get involved.
I can't bear it! Eating and being eaten! I only want to be left in peace!
You and me both.
Cutscene ends as we both walk away from Ciriatto, and I talk to the Scions.
One of the Archfiends approaches.
They must have been tracking our movements.
She's here.
The wind picks up. Tornado. Near us, but not pulling us. Oh, wow. Reminds me of, well, Siren a little bit, but like a beautiful female body, long flowing blonde hair that also kind of comes down into some green.
Excellent. You've saved me the trouble of traveling to Troya.
Like green ribbons. Like naked, but kind of like poison ivy kind of naked. So like you got some green things covering the breasts, and you got some like basically what female armor tends to look like in some video games. She's carrying a long, I'm going to call it an axe sword, mostly like sword-like, but has kind of a broader.
So you're Barbaricia.
Broader head.
Mind your manners, mortal. My name is not to be spoken, save in reverence and fear. And what is this pitiful domain? Pitiful wretches all. I will put you out of your misery.
She swipes an arm, and an aerial blast hits two of them, and they explode. Points an arm to gather the ether, or whatever that energy is, to herself. It flows into her hand. She slams her axe
Alas,
sword
poor Scarmiglione, and good riddance.
to the ground.
Felled by outsiders in pursuit of what? Pray tell.
Sorry, the first words were alas, poor Scarmiglione, and good riddance.
A dragon. One who crossed to this world thousands of years ago. Know you aught of it?
A dragon, you say? My Lord Golbez is more clever than I realized. To let the prize live, that it might lure more prey to us. Very well. In gratitude and service, I shall devour every last mote of their souls.
Where is she? Where is Ashdaya?
Huh, you even share its scent. How curious. And irresistible.
If you think us easy prey, you're wrong.
I think this is going to be a trial.
Unlike Scarmiglione, I need not skulk in shadow to claim what is mine.
But we'll find out.
If you would know about the dragon you seek, then enter into my domain.
I guess it really is like I would call it a bastard sword, I think. Or like a
You may
scimitar.
flee instead if you wish, if the fate of the sorry lot here is of no concern to you. One way or another, I will have satisfaction.
Like a long, curved scimitar kind of sword, but like not super curved. She turns back into a tornado, and I would assume flies back to her domain. So it might be a dungeon after all.
What's the plan then?
Kick butt, take names. My options are go after Barbaricia, what else? Or, if we go, we'd be playing into her hands. Which is a smart move. If we go, we'd be playing into her hands. But we all know that. We're gonna go anyway.
Aye, that we would. Even so, we don't have any intention of turning tail now, do we?
Exactly.
We find her and get our answers. Will you be joining us, Zero?
You may be easily goaded into accepting her challenge, but my curiosity is not so insatiable as to cloud my judgment. Nevertheless, if you are desperate for my aid, you know my price.
I shall pay it. So long as you leave me strength enough to see my sister home, you may take as much as you wish. And lest you forget, mine is no ordinary ether. Barbaricia too recognized its potency.
Very well. We have a bargain.
Alright, cutscene either transitioning or over. Probably over. Yep. So, okay, let me do my best to like describe Zero's armor now that we kind of it's all pretty much varying shades of black or gray. She's got, just your kind of your normal knight boots, metal. Kind of like same with the thigh armor. Has a cape that is, well, the cape's all black and is almost in one whole piece, kind of a little bit frayed at the end. Black gloves, black, some patterns of somewhat gold, but like faded gold on the chest armor. Has that chapeau, very similar to my red mage, but hers is black and a little bit less. It has black feathers in the back too. Black dangly earrings. Her hair is cut in the back to where it just reaches the base of her neck. Shortcut, but not like shortcut, And yeah, scythe. Kind of has some clothing, like some cloth a little bit over the top, like neck-ish area of the armor. And then at each of her sides, at her right side is some protective cloth, maybe hanging down to like to her knee, on the outside of that leg. Maybe it's part of some kind of underskirt thing. I can't really see. Anyway, let's talk to Estinian to finish this quest and probably get prepared for the dungeon that's about to be. Yeah, we'll see. The less time we give the enemy to prepare, the better. If everyone is ready, then let us set forth. Indeed, and yet, my heart weighs heavy for those Barbaricia struck down. Were it not for us, she would not have come here. Should you require a moment, Zero? For what? Barbaricia took what she could. She was wise to strike quickly. It would be as we would be. Agreed. This is no time for sentiment. Only the battle matters now. Nowhere to Run is complete. We'll get I'll take tenacity materia again. I have a... well, okay. Yeah, so that's the end of this video. I'm going to see if the next quest is what gets us into the dungeon or whatever's coming ahead of us, and then I'll make that quick video, but I'll see you soon.